Hi guys, hope you're all well. This is Tim from Hobgoblin's Hideaway, bringing you yet another CBCS unboxing video. Everybody that has joined in the submission this month, your comics have all gone out to you today, so they should be at your door tomorrow. I think a lot of you will be pleased with your results for that. Thank you for using the service, and I hope you're happy. We've got more submissions currently off at CBCS and plenty more in the pipeline. So, you know, if you want to get involved, guys, just give us a quick shout and we'll be happy to assist you on that matter. We're trying to work hard to get a set list of pricing up on the site. As some of you are aware, we've had a few issues with the page over the last week or so. A few posts have been blocked and removed as they've been reported as spam. Thank you for all the support that we're getting in regards to this issue. We have turned the group to a private group. This should take effect any day now. It just means that you're not going to be able to see the group until you join. But unfortunately, that's what it may take to stop the nonsense that's currently going on. So like I said, we've had a CBCS submission come back. I've also got one of my comics has arrived, I should say, a recent purchase. I've got a few, not many grails for my own collection. I tend not to keep a lot of the comics myself. However, this one has been something I've been chasing for a little while for the right price in the right condition, and finally picked it up. So it's arrived this morning with the CBCS stuff, so we'll have a look at that in a minute, and hopefully it's arrived in one piece. So let's crack on then. Got a load of stuff for you, like I said, lots of different stuff, some really nice, exciting pieces. So hopefully we're going to get some really nice grades. As usual, the majority of these have been pressed by James Gower. You all know my opinions on the guy. Fantastic service, really knows what he's talking about. He's an expert at what he does, but it only takes a few minutes of conversation with him to realise the passion that he has for the job and the expertise that he has. So thank you, James. Hopefully we'll see some good results off the back of the pressing as well. Let's get to it then, guys. Okay, so first up we've got an Amazing Spider-Man #1. It's the Clayton Crane black and white Virgin variant. It has got a signature by Crane as well, not the Infinity signature, but perfect placement on that one. Really nice looking cover. Another one to add to the shop. Condition wise, this one I don't think has been pressed. It was in a decent condition already. Again, for a modern book, we're normally hoping for a fairly high level of standard when we receive the item. So let's have a quick look at this one then. Excellent. So a nice 9.8. It is beautiful artwork. Like I said, the signature is great placement. We've got the raw version of the standard colour, I believe, was in our shop. I think that one's now gone, if memory serves me correctly. So you can't have it. Simple as that. Okay, so one of the, again, an Amazing Spider-Man. I believe it's the same series. Yeah, 2018. This one is the Brooks exclusive C. It's got a nice double signature on there, Nick Spencer and Mark Brooks himself. But really nice cover. Probably can't see it overly too well with the bag on. But yeah, it's a really nice cover. So again, we're hoping for big things. This one wasn't pressed, but was in a decent condition as it is. And another 9.8. Really happy with these. We seem to be on a bit of a roll recently for 9.8s and high quality comics that are coming back. That'll be in the shop again a little bit later on. I believe we have got another variant of the Brooks cover as well in this box, so hopefully it will fare just as well. Okay, so everybody's hot book at the moment, Amazing Spider-Man 361. This one was sent off for a bit of a clean, bit of a press. It wasn't a perfect 9.8 in the first instance. I believe there's a few defects that weren't fixable. But it's not in a bad shape at all. You know, there's a little tear down the back cover. a little mark in the bottom corner as well. So anything around about 9.2, 9.4, I'm going to be happy with that one. So let's see. From what I remember, I believe there may have been something about a common defect with these having a tear on the back. Maybe you guys can jump in the comments and let me know on that one. I'm sure I've heard somewhere that it can be a common issue. So 9.4, excellent. So we've got a 9.6 that's just about to leave the shop. So we've got another nice one to come back in. 9.4. Everybody's looking forward to Venom 2 with the Carnage appearance in the film. So it's a pretty hot book at the moment. As we hear, they all are on a daily basis, but the interest is just growing and growing on this book. So that'll be there for you guys to pick up and grab. Okay, so again, yeah, there's the other books by Nick Spencer and Mark Brooks. This is the variant B. Nice black cat in the Spidey suit. Again, should be a high grade. Nothing major that I'm looking at. Again, slight blunted corners, but as we talked about in one of the videos the other day, this could well be a common defect. A lot of these books are suffering in the corners when they're coming off the printing press or even during print. There we go. So yeah, the corner again has been completely bypassed on the grading. Beautiful book, another 9.8. Really, really nice cover. So while we're going through all these unboxing, guys, maybe some of you caught the video in midweek from the guys at Not Quite Mint, Tom and Rich. We jumped on with them. They'd had a recent CBCS submission come back with some really nice books in there. Obviously, I'm guessing if you saw the video, you'll know the exact book that I'm talking about. But it was also nice to see Tom having such an attachment to some of these comics as well. We all get comics graded on a regular basis. It's not always the money value. There are a lot of comics out there and a lot of collectors out there that do have sentimental value on these issues. It's really nice to see. But hopefully you caught that video. If not, jump over to their YouTube channel. Also, we're going to be jumping on with Mikey and James of MJ Comics, hopefully in the next few days, as James does an unboxing for some of his CBCS comics that have come back as well. Again, really nice issues. I'm not going to talk any more about those. I'm sure the surprise will be great for James and the guys, but they'll also want to cover that themselves. So let's crack on with a few more books. Okay, so Conan the Barbarian, a Perillo Virgin cover. I really, really like his artwork. Been a big fan of it for a long time. Nice little signature down the bottom as well, but his artwork is just pretty immense. So can't get enough of it. We've got a few of these in the shop. We had a Punisher one. I think we had an X23. So be sure to check those out, guys, in the shop already. They're already listed on the page. And another 9.8. I can't remember who I said it to yesterday. It may have been Tom from Not Quite Mint. So anything that's not a 9.8 today, we're going to see it flying straight out the window. It was a promise we made, but we're doing well at the moment. So hopefully they'll all continue in this vein. Okay, so this is one of my big ones to come back. Conan the Barbarian, signed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just phenomenal. It doesn't really need much explanation. The man himself with a great signature. Really pleased it came back verified. I didn't have any doubts on it, but really pleased this one came back verified. Let's have a look. I'm hoping for a 9.8. It will go straight in the shop. A 9.6 I'll be happy with. Don't really fancy throwing this one out the window, but we'll soon see. Excellent. So yeah, 9.8. Nothing wrong with this book. I did send it over to James to look after it for me as well, give it a quick press and a quick clean. But yeah, really, really happy with that. Really pleased that's come back as a 9.8. Such a lovely comic. We'll see. Maybe it'll go in the shop, maybe it won't. Maybe this one will sit in the personal collection. Really pleased with that one. Okay. First of 3 comics I've got here of Darth Vader, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th print. Had these a little while ago. It's funny, there's so many people that are talking at the moment about comic books that they've had up for sale for about a year. No interest at much lower values, and then all of a sudden something blows up with it, and it flies out so quickly, and the prices are just escalating, skyrocketing. These first appearance of Dr. Aphra Darth Vader issues are very similar to that. So like I said, we've got the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. They may be together. CBCS do normally put the books together, so fingers crossed we're going to be getting 9.8s. I'm kind of predicting maybe 9.6s on them, but again, it comes down to known defects. They're renowned for having a slight colour rub by the staples. We did the first print a few months ago for Jordan. That one came back at 9.8. I'd looked at it pre-sending it off and was adamant it was never going to hit a 9.8. But it did come back at 9.8, so fingers crossed we'll be heading the same for this one, guys. Oh, a 9.2. Really not impressed with that one. I can see a spine tick. I can see a slight blunted corner. And looking at the back, I can see a colour up. But again, I kind of presume that if one print's getting away with it, then maybe the others would. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that one. But, you know, we said it before, you can't win them all, guys. Okay then, guys, so let's crack on with these. Like I said, we've got a 3rd print and a 4th print, so hopefully they'll both fare a lot better than the 2nd print. Okay, so it potentially looks like CBCS have put them all together. So, yeah, fingers crossed. That I don't really need to go into this one anymore. So, 9.0. Yeah, that's pretty gutting. I'm guessing known defects aren't working on the later prints, so a little bit disappointed with that, especially being as we had known defects on the first print, as mentioned recently. Gutted. The 4th print, when we get to it, might be this one actually. Yeah, it is. So this is the one I was ideally resting on. This is the one I really wanted at a 9.8. Probably going to come back at 2.0 now, and there'll be something completely wrong with it. But you never know. Maybe we'll be lucky. Get in. A 9.8 on that one. I am really happy. Couldn't give a shit about the other 2. How about that? I'm really pleased about that one. A 9.8. So excellent. Always check your boxes. You never know what you've got lying about, guys. So didn't even know we've got these until recently. So really pleased with a 9.8 on that one. So excellent. Okay, so we've got God Country. This one was signed quite a while ago by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw at one of the NiceCon. I believe it was NiceCon. Might have been 2018 or 2017. I know the comic was released in 2017. But it's a couple of years ago now that we went to our first NiceCon show and met the guys. So we've had this one signed for quite a while now, sitting in stock. This one went off. It was looking pretty good anyway, but we sent it off to James just to be sure, to try and make sure we get that nice 9.8. A lot of talk about whether it'll become a TV show. It seems to be the case with a lot of Image comics at the moment. I think people are starting to presume that everything that Image are touching is going to turn into a TV show. So the spec on it kind of jumped it up a little bit. Excellent, 9.8. Really pleased. That's a great little pickup. First print as well. So that'll come onto the shop with a nice double signature, guys. Okay, the JSA Classified. This was the Second printing, the sketch cover. We've got a triple signature. Amanda Connor's on it, Adam Hughes is on it, Jimmy Palmiotti is on it as well. Beautiful art, love Adam Hughes' artwork. So really pleased to have that one. Signature placing's good as well. So let's have a quick look at this one, see if it's come through or not. A 9.6, so happy with that. Didn't expect it to be perfect. A few of these kind of signed comics, once they're getting signed by 2 or 3 or even more people, it's so difficult to maintain the high grade on them. You've got to bear in mind that a lot of the people that are signing books are signing multiple, hundreds sometimes in a day. So they're just kind of flying through them like a conveyor belt. So when they come back from each person, there's such a high chance that they're just picking up a small fingerprint or a small bend. So a 9.6 for a triple signature, I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that, guys. Okay, Savage She-Hulk, number 1. Let my copy of this go a little while ago. I had it in a 9.6. The book has since absolutely exploded and the values are going up and up and up on this one. But it's also got a nice Stan Lee signature, which has come back verified. So pleased to see that one has come back. It is newsstand as well. There was a few defects on this one, you know, it went over for a press, it went over for a clean. You've got quite a large crease on the cover. Not too sure if it's going to pick it up. So even though James can work miracles, there's some things that you physically can't take away from a book, like a colour breaking crease like that. So I'm not expecting massive grades. He's done wonders along the spine, a couple of spine ticks again. You can't remove those once they're there, once they've broke the colour. So let's have a quick look. Maybe, should we say about a 6, purely because it's got such a pronounced crease in there. 6 up to a 7.5. I'll be happy at that point, guys. Oh, 4.5. Oh. So a 4.5, guys. You can't win them all. It's just the way it goes at times. So a little bit disappointed on that one, but you've got to move on. You're gonna get it from time to time. Okay, so Secret Wars number 1, I believe it is. It was the Heroes Con 2015 exclusive. John Beattie, Michael Zek, double signature on this one. Again, with a lot of these books, I'm presuming 9.4, 9.6s along the way for a lot of them. Purely whenever you see a blunted corner now, like I've said a few times, I've got no idea whether it's going to be counted or whether it's not. So I tend to give up trying to grade comics. Let the experts do it. They know what they're doing, probably more so than me. So 9.6, I'm happy with that. I didn't quite expect a 9.8, so I'm happy that it's come back a 9.6. Really nice cover swipe as well for Secret Wars number 1. That'll go into the shop later on today, guys. Silver Surfer, volume 2, I believe. Yeah, volume 2, number 1, signed by Jim Shooter. Nice little pickup. But again, been sitting in a box for a little while, so about time we broke that one out. Spine looks quite good, bit of foxing around the corner, but it's not a bad condition comic, presents really well. Very tiny bit of foxing on the back as well. So 9.2. Pleased, really pleased. Few people have asked about Silver Surfer books, so that one will come into the shop a little bit later, guys. You can keep your eyes out for that one. Spider-Man 2099, the Toy Biz. Another one that went for a print. I can see, because of the nature of the cover, you know, the border's all in black. So it's going to pick up spine ticks. It's going to pick up spine wear much easier than other comics do show it anyway. If it's there, it's there. They're going to grade it down on it anyway. So 1, 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 spine ticks. Other than that, it presents really well. Back cover's pretty clean, front cover's fairly clean, corners are nice and sharp. So this one could go any way. Big comic at the moment though, so picking up a lot of interest. 9.4. Okay, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I can see the spine wear, I can see the damage to it. So a 9.4. I can accept that. I'm happy with that, guys. That'll potentially be in the shop. We'll decide on whether that one's going to stay in the personal collection or go up for sale a little bit later. So keep your eyes open for that one, guys. Okay, guys, carrying on then. So what have we got here? Spider-Man #1, the gold, nice Stan Lee signature. I love this book. One of my favourite covers. So many cover swipes of it and so many different variants of this cover, including the silver. But yeah, I really like this one. We've got the Blue Lizard version going off for grading, or is with CBCS at the moment for grading. So always like my 9.8s on these, but again, you can never be too sure on what you're going to pick up. A 7.0. The CBCS gods are not favouring me today, guys. It has got, not too sure if you guys can see that, it's got a small tick symbol in the corner, which actually normally means that it presents better, much better than the grade it's been given. So we'll have a look at the grading notes on that one and see if we can figure it out. Again, Stan Lee signature, but a little bit disappointed with a 7.0. Okay then, guys, let's keep these going. There isn't too many left to go, probably about 10 books. So we've got the Star Wars #1, the Alex Ross sketch variant, signed by Alex as well. I believe this was a 1 in 200. It's not on the actual book. I'm sure this is a 1 in 200 cover from the 2015 series, but really big fan of Alex Ross artwork. It's a shame he doesn't do a lot more shows when we are able to actually attend them. But fantastic cover. Again, expecting big things of these 9.6s, 9.8s. I've also got the 1 in 50 colour version as well. So fingers crossed they're going to come back. Well, a 9.6. So I'm relatively happy with that one. Didn't send these for a press. They didn't necessarily look like they needed to. I'll have a look at the grading notes and see why that one's come back a 9.6, but maybe I should just accept a 9.6 as a fairly decent result anyway. So okay, so I thought CBCS would have put these together. This is my copy of Star Wars 1 from 1977. It is the 30 cents variant, the regular first print. It's a newsstand as well, as noted on the label. So this one did go for press. Again, I'm expecting in the 9s, not too sure where I am. It has got a very slight mark on the cover, just underneath the actual box label, which is a very slight tear, very tiny corner crease. Presents extremely well, guys. Really nice book. And these Star Wars #1s are flying up in value at the moment. So ideally a 9.4, anything above is a massive bonus. So I reckon we're kind of going around about the 9.4 mark. But let's have a look. A 9.2. So was close, wasn't too bad. Probably got marked down because of the small defect at the side of the book. Off-white pages, but it's still a fantastic comic to own in the 9s. So I'm pleased with 9.2. That one will go straight in the shop, guys. So that one will probably be gone by the end of the day, or I'd expect it to be anyway. So we'll continue, we'll keep going. Okay, so Star Wars Adventures #1. It was the Big Time Collectibles foil, the Darth Vader foil by John Jiang, I believe it was. Yeah, it is. Beautiful covers. Anything lower than a 9.8, I'll be disappointed. Foil covers, unless you've had them in your collection for a while and they're picking up a lot of scratching, you should be able to maintain the covers and the creases, the spine quite well. So let's have a look at this one. Yeah, 9.8. Sometimes you can expect a certain grade. Camera doesn't necessarily pick it up overly well at the moment, but that's a beautiful cover. And we've got a few of those in stock as well, so pleased with that. Okay, so there's the Alex Ross, the colour version of issue 1 from 2015. 1 in 50, I believe, the incentive, retailer incentive. Beautiful cover, really great artwork. Again, the other one come back at 9.6, so 9.6, 9.8, and 9.4. Jeez, okay. It's near mint. It's one of those things, guys. I think the expectation, and I do have this expectation, is that we should all get 9.8. If we're sending it off for grading, I want 9.8s a lot of the time. Maybe it's a kind of snobby way to look at your books, and you always set yourself up for disappointment if you only expect 9.8. A 9.4 with an Alex Ross signature, I should be ecstatic with that. Should be really happy with that one. So maybe I need to change my way of thinking a bit on those. Okay, Rogue Squadron X-Wing. I'd been keeping this book for quite a while. I wanted it to go off for a signing event that was coming up at the Wales Comic Con. I believe it was the one in Telford. Didn't happen last year. It's been cancelled again for this year so far. So whether that's going to be rescheduled or not. So I thought, well, rather than just leaving the comic sitting there, risking potential damage, I'll send it off for grading. I'm expecting high. That's not done me too well so far today though, guys. Excellent, 9.8. So happy I can now keep that one protected until I need to crack it open for the signing event. It will come round, but it's a comic that's been growing in value as well since I've been keeping it. So I'm really pleased with that one. Really pleased with a 9.8. Lovely comic too. That one's not going up for sale though, guys. That's staying in the collection until the signing. Okay, so we've got 4, 3, 3, 8. Not massive value to this one, but I've got a couple of copies of the 337. One of them is signed and remarked. The other one is a nice kind of mid to high grade condition. I just wanted this one for the collection with Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, it's just a lovely pickup. I got nice direct edition, great cover. But again, it's just one for the personal collection, so not overly worried about that. But a 9.6, happy with that. Nice Facebook pickup. Thank you guys, whoever. To be honest, I've had it in the collection quite a while, so my memory and knowledge fails me. But it's a nice, lovely little pickup. Okay, so I've got a couple of Turtles books that have come back. This is the 2014 annual. With a typical remark and signature, Kevin Eastman cover, and it's obviously his signature, his remark, as they usually are. This one is one of the Turtles, which is kind of the standard remark that he'll do. Nice thick book as well. Again, you can see a slight corner blunt on that. But again, it's really common, as we were discussing the other night on one of the videos, corner blunts and corner tears on these thick bound books is quite common now. So whether that's going to affect the grading, I'm not too sure, guys. Again, it's another one not going to the shop. A 9.2. So it's probably taken a bigger hit than I expected it to. There doesn't seem to be much spine damage. Doesn't seem to be any ticks. So I'm guessing it's the corner that's been the undoing of this one. However, it's a Kevin Eastman signature, it's a Kevin Eastman remark. So again, these prove really popular. So that one will go again up for sale today, guys. Got about 4 books left before I can get onto my personal grail pickup. So we'll keep these ones going. Again, another Turtles book. This one again was from 2014, but it was the San Diego Comic Con variant of #1. Again, another sketch and remark by Eastman. You guys might just be able to pick that one up. The photos that I put on the shop, you'll probably be able to see that one a little bit better. This one's just standard comic format. You've got a couple of very tiny blunts on the corner. The other corners are quite sharp. A 9.4 again. I'm happy with those guys. That's not a bad grading. These have sat in collection for quite a while now, so you can't always expect them to maintain such a perfect condition, much as we might like them to, much as we look after them. You just can't expect them to just always maintain that perfect condition. Marvel Tales #1, one for my personal collection. I've started picking up a few more vintage comics. I've always been modern. I got into comics because of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. I always hated vintage artwork. I felt it was too basic. I felt it was too sloppy. Again, maybe I expect too much on a lot of things. But yeah, I've been stepping towards vintage. My plan is to go and pick up Spider-Man 1 to 100. Spider-Man 1 being one of my grails. Started picking up a few issues here and there. If anyone's got any issues floating about, I'm not looking to break the bank on them, but by all means give me a shout if you've got anything that's up for grabs within the 1 to 100 mark. On that as well, guys, might be something that we can help each other out with. Had a good friend contact me earlier. They're looking for an Amazing Spider-Man #1. It's out of my price range at the moment, so that'll be one of the last ones I pick up. But if anyone out there has got an Amazing Spider-Man #1, I think from memory we're looking about a grade 4, grade 5. But just give us a shout. You know, feel free to comment on the video if you got it. I'm sure it'd be spotted and picked up, or just drop me a private message as well if that's something you're looking to move on, and hopefully we can, you know, put you both in contact and get a deal done for you guys. But Marvel Tales #1. Looking at the cover, it looks quite faded. It's suffered in the sun quite a bit. It did go in for a press, it did go in for a clean, but it was just something I was quite happy to pick up. So I'm not too sure how it's going to get affected by the kind of sun damage. So if we hit a 6, if we hit a 7, I'll be happy. Let's have a look. 6.5, right bang in the middle. I'm happy with that. It's a nice book to have in the collection. That one is staying with us though, guys. It's not going in the shop. But yeah, really, really nice one to have for the collection, that is. 2 more left. Okay, and that reminds me, they're both at year 0. One of the videos we're going to be doing in the upcoming days or weeks, we'll talk a lot about AWA, artists, writers and artisans. New publisher, they're creator owned. I'm really enjoying a lot of their books, year 0 being one of the first ones I picked up. Again, it's been sitting in the box for a while. I've already read the series. I don't think there's any spec on the book. I know there was at first. It was kind of really difficult to get hold of. I don't see it becoming anything, a TV show or film, but you never know. But I kind of wanted this in my collection. I really like the cover. I'm expecting a 9.6, 9.8. Anything below, I'll be disappointed that I've even wasted the money grading it. But you never know what's going to happen today. Excellent, a 9.8. So pleased with that one. It's a great book. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'll cover that in one of the other videos that I do when I talk about a lot of their books at the moment and their publishings. So one of the variants, again, issue 1. Mike Deodato Jr. Did a variant for issue 1. So same book, hopefully the same result. Excellent, 9.8. That's all the books I've got for the moment, guys. I've got a lot of books coming back. We've got an Amazing Spider-Man 300 that's off for grading. We've got a lot of nice vintage books that'll be going up for sale as well in that next submission. We tend to send in about 30-40 books a month. This most recent submission, we've hit about 70-80 books. I know you guys are jumping on board CBCS now. You're seeing the results. You're hearing really good things about them. By all means, don't ever let it stop you still using CGC. I know there's a few horror stories out there. You've got the guys over at Scott's will always look after you. And like I say, it's always about personal preference. If you prefer CGC, then stick to CGC. If you prefer CBCS, then, you know, that's great. I personally do. I prefer the presentation. I prefer the free grader notes. You know, the books that we've got today, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to see where they've gone wrong, what I should have spotted. So for a bit of personal development as well, that sort of side of it is always there. I prefer their customer service. Whenever I do have to deal with them, I can drop them a quick email. I can pick up the phone and speak to them. I've never had that with CGC personally. But like I said, you've got the guys over at Scott's that I know will look after you if you're ever looking for CGC as well. You know, don't hesitate to give them a shout, or myself a shout if you're looking for CBCS, like a lot of you are at the moment. So always good to have options, guys. Never a bad thing. Okay, so the final book of today is, like I said, I've got very few grails. One of them was Amazing Spider-Man 238 for the Hobgoblin, obviously. I've got a couple of 9.6s, including a newsstand. So I was really pleased to have those. I've always had the hopes that I'll own an Amazing Fantasy 15 in a decent condition. That's a lot further down the line at the moment. An Amazing Spider-Man #1, again, not something I'm looking to pick up at the moment, but at some point that'll be another grail. My other grail, something I've been chasing quite a bit throughout the groups. I was lucky enough recently, it was suggested that I jump on Comic Link. I'd never used them before. I have had a great service with them, so I was really happy. This has come boxed, it's not just been sent in a jiffy bag. It's been boxed, nice packaging peanuts as well, so it's protected. But it's something I've been after for a long time. I've sent a few posts around the groups, and I've never really found the kind of condition that I want for the price I want. There's a few that have been, you know, top heavy on the pricing. There's a few that have been not the kind of grade that I'm looking for, but that's my personal choice. You know, there's still deals to be made out there, guys. For me, for this one, it's been something I've been chasing for quite a while. And I'm really pleased to finally have it in my collection. I picked up a great deal on this one, much cheaper than it should have cost me. Sometimes it just takes a bit of patience, a bit of looking, and waiting for the right book to come along. But I finally got my Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 in a 3.0, and it's CBCS. So for me, I'm actually really pleased about that. I know some of the people that are hunting this book will only be after a CGC on it. So great, you moved out of my way. I was able to pick it up with CBCS and a nice 3.0. Picked this one up for cheaper than a few really low grade copies have been going for recently on the group. So I'm happy that I was patient. I'm happy that I waited for a grade that I'd be accepting of. But I'm really pleased to finally have my second of my 4 grails. And that one's definitely sitting in my collection for a long time now. So really pleased to finally have that one in my hands in a solid case as well. Excellent. So then, guys, that's pretty much all I've got to show you for now. Like I said, we've got lots of videos coming up. I'm going to try and put a lot more content on the YouTube channel. We're putting all our videos through there at the moment because they then transfer over to Facebook a lot easier. By all means, subscribe to the channel if you want. I will be putting them on the group as well. From what I remember, we're about 5 members away. We might be a little bit more, actually. We might be 25. Who knows? We're close to a new milestone giveaway. We're close to the 450 mark. As we've talked about before, we want members that are active. We want members that want to join in, want the discussion, are actually looking at the posts and seeing what's going on. By all means, I've got no problem with people coming and having a little look, staying in the background, lurking a little bit, and then going. But, you know, we want people that are going to give something back to the group, to other group members as well, not just us. So hopefully we'll hit the 450 soon. We'll do a nice little giveaway as well. Please keep liking the post, keep talking on the posts. If there's any help that you guys need, just give us a shout, and we'll do our best to assist you on that one. For now, I'll leave it with you guys. Like I said, all these books will be going up, or the majority of the books will be going up in the shop. So keep your eyes open for those a little bit later on today. And take care. And hopefully I'll see you all soon.